Record. Fine. Now it will be okay. So, Hare Krishna. Welcome back to everyone. Sorry for the interruption. Some technical problem. So, we were discussing that in the last few weeks. We discussed from third chapter of third canto, wherein Uddhava narrates Lord Krishna's pastimes in Madura and Dwaraka. That Lord Krishna performed whatever pastimes in relation to killing Kamsa, fighting with Jarasandha, and marrying various queens and then killing various demons. Finally, destroying all the impious rulers through the medium of Kurukshetra battle. And after that, Lord Krishna was thinking, all the kings have been destroyed, but what about Yadus? The Yadus who have not participated in the Kurukshetra battle, how will they be destroyed? So, thinking this, Lord Krishna kind of inspired Gandhari to curse Lord Krishna and Yadu Vamsha. That Gandhari curse that just the way you caused fight among Kauravas and Pandavas, the same family members. Similarly, after 36 years, your Yaduvamsha will fight among the family members and kill each other indiscriminately. So, in one way, Lord Krishna was satisfied. So, somehow or other, this is a means by which I can remove the Yadus from the surface of this world. Later on, Bhagavatam Uddhava explains that for the next 35 years, Lord Krishna spent very happily with all the queens and all the Dwaraka vasis in Dwarka. Eventually, when the right time came during the 36th year, when Vasudev invited all the Brahmanas to perform some Vedic sacrifices in Dwaraka, have they performed very nicely all the set of Vedic sacrifices, and then one day, as a playing, joking way, the Yadukumaras dressed Samba like a woman, and they brought that so-called lady in front of the sages, and they requested the sages, dear sages, please tell us who will be the child, whether it is a girl or a boy for this lady. So then the sages, understanding the pranks of the boys, they said that whoever is going to be born from this lady will be the cause of your death. Then suddenly, being out of fear, they fled from that place and came to the uh, assembly house, and where they told everything that happened. They kept a small mushal in the belly of Samba. They removed that belly and showed it to Ugrasen Maharaj. That time Krishna was not there in that assembly, and King Ugrasen told that please grind it to powder and throw it in the ocean. And when they did like that, that powder along with the ocean went all the way up to Prabhas, which is there in which the holy place Somnath is there. So it went all the way there, and it became the reeds, a kind of bamboo trees which grow on the bank of the ocean. They all grown up there. And then eventually, in due course of time, to cause the removal of Yadus from the surface of the earth, Lord Krishna himself created a lot of disturbances in Dwaraka. And one day called all the Yadus. So, because of our offense to Brahmanas and so many other reasons, the inauspicious omens are seen all over Dwarka. So, let us all go to Prabhas. Prabhas is a holy place. There we can worship all the Brahmanas. We can worship, we can give them, we can worship the Devatas and Pitrus and by performing sacrifices, and worship the Brahmanas by giving them wonderful charities, etc., etc., so that we can be freed from these inauspicious omens. Then, following the instruction of Lord Krishna, all the Yadus traveled to Prabhas. There they performed all the auspicious ceremonies as instructed by Lord Krishna. They worshipped the Devatas, they worshipped the Pitrus, and they performed various fire sacrifices. Then they prepared Bhoga, offered it to Lord Vishnu, and fed all the Brahmanas. This is where we stopped. This is the last verse of the previous chapter, where they fed all the Brahmanas nicely. Annam choru rasam tebyo datva bhagavadarpanam. They prepared annam of variety, many wonderful variety, and first offered to Bhagavan, Lord Vishnu. Go viprar tasava sura. Then they offered it to devatas, pitrus, and the brahmanas, and also cows. They offered it to brahmanas, and then giving brahmanas all the variety of cows, pranamur bhuvi murdabi. They fell at the lotus feet of all the brahmanas, and they offered obeisances to all the brahmanas who were satisfied by eating this Vishnu Prasad, and who were satisfied by accepting various items of charity such as gold, silver, utensils, and cows, lands, etc. etc. So now we'll discuss from the next chapter. So this is the fourth chapter, wherein Uddhava is going to conclude the rest of the pastimes of Lord Krishna in this world. Uddhava uvacha atate tad anujnata bhuktva pitva cha varunim taya vibrasmita jnana duruktermarma pasprusha. So herein Uddhava says, Atate tad anujnata, having taken permission from the Brahmanas. In relation to the previous verse, having taken permission from Brahmanas, bhuktva, they accepted the food, whichever they prepared, they offered to Lord, then they offered to Devatas, Pitrus, and then they offered to Brahmanas, whatever remnants are there, that they ate. Pitvacha varunim, and they also drank a kind of liquid. It is called varuni, which is made up of rice. Then taya vibrasmita jnana. As an effect of drinking this varuni, they have lost their knowledge. They have lost their jnana. Durukter, speaking bad words. Marma, pas, sprushu, speaking very bad words, and they started hitting each other as a result of drinking this wine and the bad words. Taya vibrasmita jnana durukter, being bewildered by what to do, what not to do, they began to speak bad words to each other, ill words to each other, and becoming angry, they began to hit each other. Tesham maireya doshena visamīkrita chetasam nimlochati ravau asit venunam iva mardanam. Then it says that Tesham maireya doshena, by the bad effects of drinking that intoxicating beverage known as Varuni, Vismikrita Chetasam, and being bewildered at what to do, what not to do, they began to do all unmentionable things. Nimlochati Ravav Asid. At the time of sunset, when sun is about to set, what they did, Vismikrita Chetasam, being bewildered, being with the contaminated consciousness, Venunam Iva Mardanam. Just like one bamboo rubs with other bamboo, by rubbing each other, they produce fire, and that fire will burn the entire forest of bamboos. Similarly, the Yadus were doing two things. Duruktair Marma Pasprushu. They were speaking bad words to each other, and they were hitting each other. As a result of this, all the Yadus killed by each other. One Yadu killed other Yadu killed other, like that. Fathers killed sons, sons killed fathers. Younger brothers killed elder brothers, elder brothers killed younger brothers, grandfathers killed grandsons, grandsons killed grandfathers. Without any discrimination whether I can do this or not, they killed each other as the effect of Maireya Doshena, bad influence of drinking the Varuni liquor. So this story is very nicely mentioned in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, one of the last chapters, and in Mahabharata also. So in Mahabharata, the story very nicely depicted how Yadus killed each other. So wherein during the battle of Kurukshetra, on the 14th day, when Arjuna went ahead to kill Jayadratha, Yudhishthir sends Bhima to find out whether Arjuna is still alive. I am not able to hear his conch shell, the sound of his conch shell. So Bhima goes ahead keeping Satyaki as his caretaker. And eventually, no, actually, uh, keeping Satyaki the caretaker, Arjuna goes ahead. When he was not able to hear, then Yudhishthir Maharaj sends Satyaki ahead to find out whether Arjuna is safe or not. So as Satyaki was following after Arjuna, he almost closed by. Bhurishrava stops Satyaki. So there was a huge battle between Bhurishrava and Satyaki. Bhurishrava was the son of Somadatta. Satyaki was the son of Shini. Previously, once in a public gathering, both Shini and Somadatta had a quarrel with each other. There they kind of became arch enemies. So during that battle, they vowed that I will kill you, I will kill you, like that. So now remembering those vows, both Bhurishrava, the son of Somadatta, and Satyaki, the son of Shini, were fighting very vigorously to kill each other in order to fulfill the vows of their parents. So during the fight, at one point of time, Bhurishrava actually kicked on the abdomen of Satyaki, and Satyaki fell apart. He was unconscious. At the time, Bhurishrava taking a sword, he went ahead to cut off the neck of Satyaki. In the meantime, indicated by Lord Krishna, Arjuna cuts off the hand in which Bhurishrava was holding. The right hand in which Bhurishrava was holding the sword, Arjuna cuts off from the very root, the hand. Bhurishrava becomes very angry and he argues with Arjuna, how can you do this? This is not fair. Then Arjuna tells that when a person is fell unconscious in the battlefield without any weapons, you should not kill him. You should wait till he gets up. That is the code of conduct of the war. Then Bhurishrava understands that he is not doing proper thing. Then understanding that it is enough, so he was sitting on yoga posture with a desire to give up his life. Then immediately regaining his consciousness, Satyaki took up a sword and cut off the head of Bhurishrava. Because previously Satyaki took a vow that whoever kicks me in my abdomen, I will cut off their head. This was the vow of Satyaki. Sometime back he took it. So now following that vow, he cut off the head of Bhurishrava. Because Bhurishrava dealt with Satyaki very inhuman way during the battle. So Satyaki, as a matter of taking revenge, he cut off the head. But eventually, at the end of the battle, from the side of Pandavas, the 5 Pandavas were alive, and Satyaki was alive, and Lord Krishna. 7 people were alive. And from the side of Kauravas, only 3 people were alive. One was Krupacharya, the spiritual teacher of the teacher of all the Pandavas and Kauravas, and then Ashwatthama, the son of Dronacharya. The third person was Krutavarma. When both Arjuna and Duryodhana went to Dwaraka in order to get the help from Yadus, Krishna and Balram. That time Balramji said, I will not fight for anybody. I'm not taking part in any side. I'm going to pilgrimage. Then they approached Krishna, and Krishna told that I will divide the entire Yadu opulences into two parts. On one side, I myself take part in the battle, but with I won't lift any weapon. On the other side, my one Akshauni Narayana Sena will participate. So Arjuna took Krishna, Duryodhana took one Akshauni Sena. As the leader of this Narayani Sena, Krutavarma joins the side of Kauravas. So Krutavarma was the leader of this one Akshauni Sena. He fought from the side of Kauravas, and he was the one of the survival from the party of Kauravas. And Krutavarma directly witnessed the fight that took place between Bhurishrava and Satyaki. So now both Krutavarma and Satyaki both were Yadus. Now these two people are there in Prabhas drinking this Varuni wine. And after having drunk sufficiently, Krutavarma started criticizing Satyaki that, you Satyaki, you have killed Bhurishrava improperly, not following the code of warfare. And Satyaki said that you are Yadu, and instead of following Krishna's footsteps, you sided Duryodhana. You took the side of Adharma and you fought for Adharma. What kind of Dharma is there in you? Like that, both started arguing with each other. Some of the Yadus took the side of Satyaki, some of the Yadus took the side of Kritavarma. And the people on the Kritavarma side, they started telling that even Krishna is also a cheater. He also took up so many illegal means by which he killed Bhishma, Drona, Karna, etc. etc. So then Satyaki became very angry. How can you speak ill about Krishna? So he started searching for some weapons because they were all performing yajna, they don't have any weapons. So looking the reeds which were grown up in the ocean, he went to the ocean and plucked some of the reeds. As soon as Satyaki hold on to one reed, that became like an iron rod. He plucked it off, started hitting others. The other party also, seeing many other reeds in the bank of the ocean, they also plucked other reeds. As soon as the Yadus held onto those reeds, all the reeds transformed into iron rods, because these reeds are grown up from the churned particles of the mushal, which was kept in the belly of Samba. So now the curse of all the Brahmanas is taking into shape. So hitting each other with those iron reeds, they began to fight with each other. And Krishna and Balram came in between to stop them. And from the party of Krutavarma, they also started hitting Krishna and Balram. And Krishna and Balram, like any other Yadu, they also took some reeds and they began to hit on Yadus. So this was a huge scene, and all the Yadus were killed except two people, that was Krishna and Balram. Unable to tolerate what all happened, Balramji went and sat on the bank of the ocean and sat in meditation, changed his form from human form to a snake form, Anantashesh, entered into that ocean and entered into his own abode. So this was the pastime which is described in the Mahabharata and to some extent in the Bhagavatam 11th canto also. But what exactly happened there is entirely a different thing. That is mentioned in the third verse. Here in third verse it says that Bhagavan Swatma Mayaya Gatim Tam Avalokya Sa Saraswatim Upasprushya Vrikshamulam Upavishat. Bhagavan Swatma Mayaya Gatim Tam Avalokya Sa. Lord Krishna for the purpose of invoking Kali Yuga, for the purpose of inviting Kali Yuga, by employing his own Maya, he created a illusory fight in the vision of the great sages such as Vyasadeva and also people of this world. But by his own internal potency, what he did is he took all the devatas on the request of Lord Vishnu, who appeared in the family of Yadus. All those devatas who have become now Yadus, Lord Krishna took all of them to Prabhas, made them perform sacrifices for the pleasure of devatas, Pitrus, cows, and the Brahmanas, made them prepare wonderful foodstuffs, made them offer to Lord Vishnu. Then they offered it to devatas, Pitrus, and the remnants were offered to all the Brahmanas. And by taking after giving so many charities to the Brahmanas, with the permission of the Brahmanas and with Lord Krishna's permission, they ate and they drank the nectarian beverage known as Varuni. And then, with the permission of Lord Krishna, all these devatas who descended in Yadu dynasty went back to heaven and resumed their services. So, Bhagavatam and Ramayana, Mahabharata explain that when the Lord, whenever Lord appears, all the devatas also take part in the pastimes of Lord. When Lord Ram appeared, all the devatas became monkeys. When Lord Krishna appeared, all the devatas became Pandavas and Yadus. Now, when they become like that, it is actually one personality will stay in the heaven, an Amsha of that personality will appear on the earth. Now, that Amsha will go back and merge with the original personality and continue to do the service as a Devata. So that they did. Gatim tam avalokyasa. Without seen by the people of the world, without seen by the great sages, they have disappeared from the land of Prabhas and entered back into their original forms in the heavenly abodes and resumed their services. So this is what happened in the land of Prabhas. But for the purpose of invoking Kali Yuga, Lord Krishna created a illusory scene of fight between Yadus among his family members, because Lord Krishna also has to fulfill the word of Gandhari and also the word of the Brahmanas, who, understanding the will of Lord Krishna, cursed the Yadus that they should be killed each other by from the hands of other Yadus. So, like that, this entire pastime took place by Lord Krishna's own Maya potency, which was revealed to Vasudev, and then he compiled the same entire narration in Mahabharata, Padma Purana, Vishnu Purana, and Bhagavatam. And these four books exclusively describe this entire pastime as Mushal Leela. And one should not think that it is illusory only, it is drama only, not like that. In a way, Lord Krishna actually performed this pastime for the purpose of invoking Kali Yuga. Because when Yudhishthira Maharaj was ruling, when Krishna was personally present in Dwaraka, the entire atmosphere was like that of Satya Yuga, though the running time period was Dwapara Yuga. Now Satya Yuga has to decline to Kali Yuga, for which Lord Krishna is performing all these pastimes. One is his own intimate family members killed each other indiscriminately. Second, that will be described in the later part, Lord Krishna, while leaving from this world, he left his body in this world. He left his body. When people saw that, when people heard it, when people read it, they thought that, hey, Krishna is also an ordinary human being. If he is Bhagavan, he should have gone along with his body. He should not have left his body. He had left his body like you and me. He is also like you and me. So, with this understanding, they don't give any importance to the activities of Krishna, the lessons taught by Krishna. Thus, they become atheistic. So that will be the nature of Kali Yuga. But pure devotees, though all these things, though they are mentioned in Vedic literature, they understand the intention of Lord Krishna, and then they become more surrendered to Lord Krishna. So that is what happens in Kali Yuga. In spite of reading all these things, the pure devotees become more pure devotees, and the common people become, though the envious people become more envious of Krishna. That's how Kali Yuga will progress. Then, seeing that all the Yadus were disappeared, seeing that Balramji also disappeared, entering into the ocean as Shesha, now taking the support of a people tree, having performed evening oblations in Saraswati river, Saraswatim Upasprushya. So he had touched Saraswati water, that means he offered in the evening oblations. Then Vriksha Moolam Upavishad. He sat at the root of a big Ashwatha tree. He found one Ashwatha tree there in the Prabhas, and he sat at the root of the tree. So Lord Krishna also preparing to leave from this world. Aham chokto bhagavata prapannaarti harenaha badarim tvam prayahi badarim tvam prayahiti swakulam sanjirshuna. So Uddhava is telling that I was already told by Lord Krishna in Dwaraka itself that very soon Lord Krishna is going to depart from this world, and before that Lord Krishna will make all the arrangements for the Yadus to depart from this world, because Lord Krishna knew that if I keep Yadus back in this world, they are so powerful like me, they start creating havoc all over the world in my absence. Lord Krishna does not want that. So before his departure, he wanted all the Yadus to depart from this world. So, and he told Uddhava the entire Uddhava Gita in Dwarka, that which we are discussing in our daily Bhagavatam classes. So Lord Krishna instructed Jnana and Vairagya to Uddhava in Dwarka itself. And at the end, he instructed Uddhava to go to Badrikashram and repeat the same teachings which he had spoken to Uddhava, to the sages of Naimisharanya. So thus instructing Uddhava to go to Badrikashram, Lord Krishna accompanied by all the Yadus came to Prabhas, and there he performed the pastime of disappearance of all the Yadus. Then Balramji disappeared. Now he sat at the root of a pipal tree. Then Uddhava, who was supposed to go to Badrikashram, but with a desire to see Lord Krishna once again, unable to feel separation from Lord Krishna, he also followed Krishna. He also came to Prabhas. By the time he reached, there is no one. The entire place is empty. Then he was searching for Lord Krishna all around. Then what happened? Tatapi tad abhipretam janan aham arindama prushtato anugamam bhartu pada vishleshana kshama. So herein Uddhava says that same thing. Unable to bear separation from Lord Krishna, tatapi tad abhipretam janan aham arindama. Though I'm supposed to go to Dwaraka, but Prushato Anugamam Bhartu, but I followed the footsteps of Lord Krishna, my master Bhartu, Pada Vishleshan Ankshana, to have the darshan of his lotus feet once again before going to Badrikashram and before Lord Krishna departs from this world. So he came to Prabhas. Adraksham ekamasinam vichinvan daityama daitampati श्रीनिकेतं सरस्वत्यां कृतकेतम् अकेतनम्. So Lord Krishna, whom Uddhava could not find for some time, then eventually he found Lord Krishna, who had sat alone underneath a pipal tree. Sri Niketam, he is the Lord of Mother Lakshmi. Kritaketam Aketanam, he took the shelter of a pipal tree as if he is shelterless. So Uddhava is speaking like this because Lord Krishna is the master and Prabhu of every living entity of this world. He has nothing to take shelter of in this material world, because he who gives shelter to the entire material world, he who gives shelter to every living entity in the material world, then whose shelter he can take in the material world? So he appeared as if shelterless and he sat underneath a pipal tree. Though he is the Lord of Mother Lakshmi, though he is the Lord of every living entity, Vichinvan Dayitam Patim, he is the Lord of all the devotees. Saraswatyam, on the bank of the Saraswati river, he sat beneath a pipal tree. Then Uddhava approached Lord Krishna. Shamavadatam virajam prasannarunalocanam dhorbi chaturbir viditam pitakau shambarena cha. So Uddhava spotted Lord Krishna from a distance, wherein he saw a personality whose bodily complexion is Shamavadatam, bluish in color. Virajam, Prasanna Arunalochanam. Virajam means without any contamination, completely pure. Prasanna, completely peaceful. Uddhava did not see any remorse in Lord Krishna. From an ordinary person's point of view, after seeing the destruction of his entire family, a person should become morose. But now, it is Lord Krishna's will to remove the Yadus from the surface of the earth. Now, he performed all the duties for which he appeared on this earth. Now he is completely peaceful. Now he is ready to leave from this world. Aruna Lochanam, his eyes are reddish in appearance. Dorbir Chaturbir Viditam, he appeared in his four-handed form, just the way he appeared in the presence of Kamsa when he appeared from the womb of Devaki in his four-handed form. The similar bodily features he took now, because now he is leaving from this world. Pita Kaush Pita Kaushamba Renacha, and he was wearing golden or yellow garments. So this is how Uddhava spotted Lord Krishna in underneath a pipal tree. Vama Urao Adishritya Dakshinangri Saruruham Apash Apashritarbakashvattam Akrisham Tekta Pipalam. So it is mentioned that Vama Urao Abhishritya Dakshinangri Saroruham. His right feet is folded across and it was kept upon the left thigh. He sat in a peculiar pose wherein he kind of his left leg is moving ahead, kept ahead straight, and his right feet turned around, and his right feet is kept on the thigh of the left left thigh, left leg. So that is how he sat, and aprashitarba kasyasutanam, aprashita, ashrita, having taken shelter of a arbaka ashwatha, a young ashwatha tree. So he sat underneath a pipal tree or ashwatha tree, which is very young. It is not a very old tree. It is very young tree. Araksham, as if there was no one to protect him. Takta Pipalam, giving any attachment to this world. So there is a technical meaning for Ashwatha and Pipalam. It is mentioned in the purport. Ashwatha refers to A na swa tishtati or Ashwa tishtati. In Sanskrit, Shwa means tomorrow, Kal, that which does not stay till tomorrow is called Ashwatha. This entire material world is also called as Ashwatha because this entire material world has been created by Supreme Lord. It has a particular time span. For that much time it will stay. After that time is over, the world will be destroyed. So Lord Krishna had entered into our universe, which will stay only for a limited time, which has a beginning, which has an end. Apashrita means though Lord Krishna externally appeared to that he has taken shelter of this young Ashwatha tree, but Apashrita, he has not taken shelter of this Ashwatha tree. Instead, it is he who gives shelter to this Ashwatha tree, the entire material universe. And Arbaka Ashwatha mentions as among many universes, our universe is one of the small universe. That's why it is called as Arbaka Ashwattham. And Akrisham Tekta Pipalam. Pipala indicates in Shvetavtara Upanishad, there is a shloka which mentions that there is a pipal tree which has got so many fruits. In one branch, there is a nest in which there are two birds. One bird is sitting silently, the other bird is moving from one branch to other branch, eating various fruits. One fruit is bitter, one fruit is sweet, like that. The other bird is looking when this bird will stop eating so many fruits and come back to me and makes friends with me. But the other bird is busy with eating so many fruits, even though some of them are bitter, some of them are sweet, some of them are sour, etc. etc. So this is a allegorical way of telling about a living entity. The tree is synonym to the human body. The one bird which is silent is Paramatma. The one bird which is going from one branch to other branch is called Jivatma. The fruits which is eating are the results of our activities. The sweet fruits are experiencing happiness or joy. The bitter fruits are experiencing sorrow or misery. Like that, Jiva is busy in eating variety of fruits by performing various activities. But the other bird, that is Paramatma, is looking, eagerly waiting when this bird will turn to me and take shelter of my lotus feet and giving up this people Vruksha, giving up the mentality of enjoying the material objects, goes back home, back to Godhead. So here it is mentioned that Akrisham Takta Vipalam. Lord Krishna gave up the desire to do any activity in this material world. Of course, Lord Krishna has no desire to do any material activity, but Uddhava narrates as if a person when he is about to disappear, he who knows that he is going to Godhead, he will have no desire, no intention to perform any activities in this material world for the purpose of gaining results. So these two lines are actually having this technical import that Ashwatha is referring to our universe, which will not stay tomorrow till tomorrow, and Arbaka refers to one of the small universe. Apashita refers to Lord Krishna is not interested in this universe. He has not taken shelter of this universe. And Tekta Pipalam refers to though Lord Krishna is in this world, he is not interested in eating the fruits of this world, the benefits offered by this world, the enjoyments offered by this world. So with this mentality, Lord Krishna sat underneath that pipal tree and Uddhava approaches Lord Krishna, being satisfied because somehow or other again he had darshan of Lord Krishna before he goes to Dwaraka, before he goes to Badrikashram, and before Lord Krishna departs from this world. Tasmin Mahabhagavato Dvaipayana Surusakha लोकान् अनुचरण सिद्धा आशसादा yadruchaya. Tasmin, then when Uddhava approached Lord Krishna, similarly at the same time, Mahabhagavato Dvaipayana Suhrusaka, the well-wisher and friend of Mahabhagavata Dvaipayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead who appeared as Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa, his friend and well-wisher, that was Maitreya Muni, because both Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa and Maitreya both were studied under Parashara Muni. Parashara was the father of Vyasadeva, and these two were the students of Parashara Muni. So since they lived for a long time together studying under the same Guru, they became friends, they became well-wishers with each other. So that Maitreya Muni, by the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, traveling all over the world, arrived at Prabhas. Understanding that Lord Krishna is there, he also came there at the same spot where Lord Krishna is situated and where Uddhava is approaching Lord Krishna. So both Uddhava and Maitreya simultaneously approached Lord Krishna and offered obeisances to Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna received both of them, made them sit nearby. Then Tasyanu Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. So sorry, some interruption because of lack of network. So then Tasyanuraktasya muner mukunda pramoda bhava natakandarasya ashrunvato mam anuraga hasa samikshaya vishramayan uvacha. Tasyanuraktasya muner mukunda, having pleasing disposition towards Maitreya Muni, pramoda bhavananta kandarasya, pramoda bhava, with pleasing demeanor, ananta kandarasya, ashrunvato, leaning towards forward Maitreya Muni, mam anugraha, mam anuraga hasa samikshaya, with anuraga and pleasing smile, Lord Krishna looking at me spoke Vismayan Uvacha, Vishramayan Uvacha. He spoke pleasing words with deep import. So basically, Lord Krishna was eagerly received both Maitreya and Uddhava, made them sat next to him, and then being pleased with their arrival, looking at them, leaning forward toward them, and with a pleasing smile and with affection, Lord Krishna began to speak to Uddhava and Maitreya. Then Lord Krishna spoke few verses. He says that Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Vedaham Antar Ivedaham Antar Manasepsitam Te Dadami Yatta Dudavapamanyer Tatre Pura Vishwa Srujam Vasunam Matsiddhikamena Vasotvayeshta Vedaha mantar manasipti tamte. My dear Uddhava, I know what was there in your heart and what is there now in your heart. What kind of thought process is going on in your heart? Previously, in your previous life, when you are Vasu, when Lord Brahma performed a huge fire sacrifice, all the Vasus were invited there. to become the priest of the fire sacrifice, and you are also there. During that fire sacrifice, you actually pleaded, expressed your desire to become one of my associate, to be part of my eternal pastimes. And being pleaded with your desire, I made you to become my associate. Thus, you have been born in the Yadu Vamsha and you have become my constant companion from the time I returned to Madura. Since then, you are always there with me, along with me. Wherever I went, you have traveled along with me. And even now, though I am leaving you behind with a big mission. Because as I was performing my pastimes, I visited many places. I showed my mercy to many of the people on this world, but I could not visit Badrik Ashram. Now, on my behalf, you please visit Badrik Ashram. So, with that intention, I have already spoken to you the entire Uddhava Gita, describing Bhakti, Jnana, Yoga, and Karma. Now, you are supposed to go there, but with a desire to have my darshan, you have come to me. You have again following my footsteps. You have come all the way up to Prabhas. I am very much pleased by such surrender of yours. I know that you cannot live without me, but still, no one but you can do my mission. There is no one who can do this mission of going to Badrikashram and delivering my message to the sages of Badrikashram headed by Naranarayan Rishi. Saesha sadho charamo bhavanam आसादिदस्ते मदनुग्रहोयत् यन्मां नृलोकान् रहौसृजन्तं दिष्टादश्रु दिष्टाददृश्वान् विशदानुवृत्या. So this is also same meaning. Like he says that Saesha Sadho Cheramo Bhavanam. My dear Uddhava, this is your last birth in this material world. Having gone to Badrikashram, having delivered my message to the sages of Badrikashram, you will return to Vrindavan, and by becoming a Gulmalata, you will become an eternal resident of Vrindavan. And also, in another form, you will come to Dwaraka and become my eternal associate in Dwaraka, wherein I continue to perform my pastimes in an Aprakata Leela. So Uddhava simultaneously will be at two places afterwards. One form as Gulmalata in Vrindavan, nearby Kusum Sarovar on the foothills of the Govardhan, and then in another form he will stay in Dwaraka as an eternal associate of Lord Krishna. So that's how Lord Krishna says that Saesha Sadho Cheramo Bhavanam. Cheramo, this is the last birth of yours. Asaditaste Madanugrahoyat. By my mercy, Yenmam Lokam Rahavsrujantam Dishta Dad Drishavan Vishadanu Vritya. So, by my mercy, following in footsteps, you have come here to have my darshan once again. This shows your eagerness to be with me always. So, understanding your intention, I will give you residence both in Vrindavan and also Dwaraka eternally. So, this is the blessing which Lord Krishna gives to Uddhava. Pura maya proktamajayanaapye padme nishannaya mamadi sarge jnanam paramman mahimavabhasham yasurayo bhagavatam vadanti. So, Pura Maya Proktam Ajaya Nabe. Ajaya means the unborn personality who was born from the lotus flower. Ajaya Nabe. Though he was unborn, but he was born from the lotus flower. He was not born like any other living entity. That was Lord Brahma. Padme Nishannaya, being situated on top of the lotus flower, Mama Adi Sarge, at the beginning of the creation, okay, long back, about 50 years back of Lord Brahma's lifespan, Jnanam Param Mat, Jnanam Param Mam Mahimava Bhasham. I have explained to him Paramagnan, the topmost transcendental knowledge, Man Mahima, wherein my glories have been described. Yat Surayo Bhagavatam Vadanti. The great sages, the great Suris call that as Bhagavatam. So Lord Krishna is referring to the Chatushloki Bhagavatam, which Lord Narayana spoke to Brahma at the beginning of creation, which was mentioned in the 9th chapter of second canto, the 4 slokas. That the learned sages call it as Bhagavatam. So that Bhagavatam I have spoken long back to Brahma, revealing my glories, establishing the truth of my transcendental position in relation to this material world. So the essence of that Bhagavatam I have given to you in Uddhava Gita. So like that, Lord Krishna is indicating. Then, hearing these words from Lord Krishna, who was ready to depart from this world, who mentioned about the perfection of Uddhava, then Uddhava, unable to tolerate separation from Lord Krishna, starts speaking to Lord Krishna, starts offering prayers, starts requesting some more transcendental knowledge from Lord Krishna. इति आदृक्तोक्ता परमस्य पुंसा प्रतिक्षन् प्रतिक्षणानुग्रहभाजनोऽहम् स्नेहोत्तरो मा स्खलिताक्षरस्तम् मुञ्चन् चुचा प्राञ्जलिरभाससे मुञ्चन् चुचा प्राञ्जलैर्जलैरभाससे. Herein he says that iti adrutokta paramasya pumsha, seeing the respect shown by Lord Krishna, seeing how Lord Krishna was speaking to both Uddhava and Maitreya, pratikshananu raga bhajanoham, that the anuraga shown by Lord Krishna upon Vidura and Maitreya, how Lord Krishna gave great respect and great importance to Uddhava. Uddhava says, Snehot Roma, being overcome by Sneha towards Lord Krishna, the hair and my body were standing on end. Skalita Aksharastam, so wherein my voice was choked up. Skalita Aksharastam, the speech which I am going to talk was actually disturbed, quite disturbed. Munchan Chucha, my entire body was moistened by the tears flowing or flooding from my ears. Pranjalayer abhasate. In Anjali Mudra, offering obeisances to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, I began to speak with highly disturbed words, highly incoherent words. So he was not able to speak. He is actually crying heavily, understanding that Lord Krishna is departing from this world very soon, and his entire body hair were standing on hand, and from his eyes torrents of rains were downpouring, and he began to speak with broken voice, disturbed voice. So what Uddhava spoke to Lord Krishna was, कोन्वीशते पादसरोजभाजां सुदुर्लभोर्तेषु चतुष्षपीहा तथापि नाहं प्रवृणोमि भूमन् भवत्पदाम्बोजनिसेवनोऽस्तु का कोन वीशते पाद सरोज बाजाम सुदुर्लभो अर्थेषु चतुषु अपीहा. So the people of this world, they were performing so many austerities, so many vows, so many things. They are doing so many charitable activities, so many pious activities with an intention to attain the four purusharthas. Chaturshu artheshu, four purusharthas, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. With the intention to get these four things, which are actually very difficult to get, but the people are performing so many auspicious activities, following so many vows, performing so many austerities with a desire to get four purusharthas. But these things are very easily will be given to your devotees. Kon vishate pada saroja bhajam sudurlabo apiha. Though they are very difficult to obtain for the people in general, but for your devotee they are easily available because they have taken shelter of your lotus feet. Pada saroja bhajam. They are continuously worshipping your lotus feet. For those who continuously worship your lotus feet, the four purusharthas are easy to attain. They don't have to work hard. Tatapi, even in spite of that, Naham pravrunomi bhuman. My dear Lord, I don't want any of those four purusharthas. I am not interested in any of the four purusharthas. But I only have one desire, that Bhavat Padamboja Nisevu Nostuka. I want to continue to stay at your lotus feet and continue to serve your lotus feet. I don't want to get dharma, artha, kama, and moksha in impersonal Brahman. Instead, I want association, or I want position at your lotus feet constantly, by which I can continue to serve your lotus feet. I am not interested in dharma, artha, kama, moksha, but I am only interested in service to your lotus feet. So this is the desire that Uddhava was cultivating in his core of the heart. He expressed it to Lord Krishna, and then he asked Lord Krishna for some clarification. Expressing the contrary nature of Lord Krishna's pastimes, he requests Lord Krishna to reveal the inconceivable nature of his transcendental position. For the people of this world, Lord's pastimes are bewildering sometimes. So all the variety of pastimes that actually bewilder the great learned souls of this world, Uddhava mentioned in this verse. Karmani anihasya bhavo bhavasyate दुर्गाश्रयोतारि भयात् पलायनम् कालात्मनो यत् प्रमदायुताश्रमा स्वात्मन् रते किद्यति धीर्विधामिह. Karmani anihasya. It means that aniha means who has no interest in getting anything in this material world, who has nothing to gain in this material world. Even though Uddhava is saying that you have nothing to gain in this material world, but you performed each and every activity as a brahmachari, as a grihastha, as you are living in the Gurukul of Sandipani Muni as a brahmachari, as you are living in Madura and Dwaraka. Of course, Dwaraka he became grihastha. In Dwaraka, you are performing all the duties of a grihastha very dedicatedly, with highest regard. You are performing all the duties as if you are a attached personality, performing all those activities with a desire to gain the benefit. You are aniha. You are nothing to gain in this world. You are the source of this world. What do you gain from this world? But you are performing all the activities, that is, as Lord Krishna indicates in Bhagavad Gita, with only one intention. Yadyat acharati shrestha tattat eva itrojana. Just to teach all of us. Even when Lord Krishna married 16,100 queens after rescuing them from the um, captivity of Baumasura, son of Bhudevi, or Narakasura, who was the king of Pragjyotishpura. Narada Muni once thought that, let me see what kind of activities, how Lord Krishna is spending his time with so many queens. So an ordinary person, uh, very difficult for him to deal with many wives. So Narada Muni, with a desire to see how Lord Krishna dealing with all the queens, he entered all the palaces of Lord Krishna. Bhagavatam 10th canto explains that he spent more than a week's time, almost one full paksha. He travelled all the 16,108 palaces of Lord Krishna in Dwaraka, seeing that what all the variety of activities that is performing in Dwaraka. So Narada Muni was very much surprised that Lord Krishna was performing all the household duties with utmost attention and dedication. That actually bewildered Narada Muni also at that point of time. Like that. Bhavo abhavasyate. You are abhava. You are actually unborn. You eternally exist in the spiritual world. You don't have any birth. But still you take birth like any other ordinary material person. You took birth as Lord Rama from the womb of Kaushalya. You took birth as Lord Krishna from the womb of Devaki. You took birth as Vamana from the womb of Aditi. So like that you take birth like any other ordinary person. So this activity also bewilders us. Though you are unborn, you eternally exist in the spiritual world, still you take birth here in this material world like any other person. Durgashrayo bayat palayanam kalatmano. Though you are Kala personified, though you are fear personified, though you are fear to the fear personified, as if being afraid of Jarasandha, Atari Bayat Palayanam, you actually left Madura and constructed a city in the midst of the ocean, considering the entire ocean as Durga. For any other personality to surpass, it is very difficult. So you constructed your own township in the midst of the ocean, the Dwaraka city, as if you are afraid of Jarasandha. But scriptures tell that you are Kalatmano, you are the time personified. It is you who cause fear to the people of the entire universe. How can you be fearful by an ordinary personality such as Jarasandha? You become afraid of an ordinary personality such as Jarasandha. And then finally, this is more bewildering. Swatman Rate Pramada Yutashrama. You are actually Atma Rama. Swa Atman Rate. You experience satisfaction within yourself. But still, you accepted 16,108 queens as if you are not satisfied with one queen. For the sake of experiencing household pleasure, you have accepted so many queens and enjoyed the household ashrama. Kiddhiti Dhir Vidamiha. When the great learned people, Dhir, the intellectual people, see all these contrary activities within you, their intelligence becomes bewildered. They are actually bewildered by seeing all these contrary pastimes that are there within you. If somebody says that no, Lord Krishna is simply acting as if he has taken birth, as if he is performing all the activities, as if he is afraid of Jarasandha, and as if he is interested in household pleasures, he is just acting. If somebody says that Krishna is acting, they are also bewildered. If somebody says that Lord Krishna is not acting, he is actually doing all these things, still they are all bewildered. So these pastimes of yours are actually bewildering me. Can you kindly tell me how you perform all these pastimes? And at the same time, your transcendental position is not at fault. Your unborn nature is not at fault. Your Atma Rama nature is not at fault. Your time personified nature is not at fault. Your personality freed from any material desires is not at fault. At the same time, you who is performing all the activities, it is you who is appearing from the womb of Aditi, Devaki, and Kaushalya. It is you who transferred your township from Madura to Dwaraka, and it is you who actually married and lived, performed all the household activities with 16,108 queens. So please tell me how you do all these things. So this is a kind of surprise expressed by Uddhava. And more than this, Uddhava mentions another surprise that is in relation to himself. Mantreshu mam va upayuya yetvam akuntitakanda sadatma bodha pruchre prabho mugda iva pramatta tanno mano mohayativa deva mantreshu mam upahuya yatvam akuntitakanda sadama bodha. He says that though you are the person of unlimited intelligence, though you know everything about everyone, but still, whenever there is some critical situation, you always request my counseling as if I am more learned than you. You humbly request my counseling and you humbly execute whatever I say as if I am the most knowledgeable personality in your assembly. But actually, it is you who are the highest knowledgeable person because you are the supreme personality of Godhead. But you request me many times, requesting counsel, what to do, what not to do, etc., etc. And you follow whatever counsel I give. Prichre Prabhu Mugda Iva Pramattas Tanno Mano Mohayativa Deva. Actually, you are asking me counseling, your execution of my counseling puts me under bewilderment. Tanno Mano Mohayativa Deva. My mind is bewildered by such kind of humble activities performed by you. So please tell me why you perform all such pastimes and how you perform all such pastimes. Please tell me the reason behind all these things. So not only the great sages are bewildered, even I was bewildered by your such pastimes. Then finally Uddhava says, Jnanam param swatmaraha prakasham प्रोवाच कस्मै भगवान् समग्रम् अपि क्षमं नो ग्रहणाय भर्तर् वदान् वदाञ्जसाय वृजनं tareema. So you have spoken the param jnanam swatma raha prakasham, revealing your transcendental position. Provacha kasmai, long back to Brahma, Bhagavan Samagram. You have revealed knowledge about yourself completely to Lord Brahma long back, hearing which Lord Brahma understood the transcendental position of your good self. Then he says that similarly, can you speak the same Bhagavatam to me once again? Api kshamam no grahanaya bhartur. If I am qualified to hear, if I am qualified to understand about your transcendental position, which Lord Brahma understood, Vadanja Sayad Vrijnam Tarema. Can you kindly speak easily in an understandable way so that Hearing that we can easily overcome or we can easily cross over the material existence. Vrijnam Tarema. We can cross over the ocean of material existence. Here, Uddhava is requesting Lord Krishna to speak the same Bhagavatam which he spoke to Lord Brahma long back, which revealed about his transcendental position to Lord Brahma. So Uddhava requested Lord Krishna to speak the meaning of that Bhagavatam, the Chatushloki Bhagavatam, hearing which he can understand how Lord Krishna can be able to perform all the contrary pastimes, and at same time he can remain transcendental to all our confusion. So with that intention, Uddhava requests Lord Krishna to speak Srimad, the import of the original Bhagavatam which he spoke to Lord Brahma. Iti avedita hardaya मह्यं सा भगवान् परम् आदिदेशारविन्दाक्ष आत्मना परमां स्थिति iti avedita hardaya, being requested by Uddhava with his heartfelt desire to hear about Lord Krishna. Mayamsa Bhagavan Para, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, spoke unto me. This is Uddhava is speaking to Vidura. He says that being requested by me, expressing my heartfelt desire, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, Adi Desha Aravindaksha. Following my request, the Aravindaksha, the lotus-eyed personality of Godhead, spoke about Atmana Paramam Stitim, the transcendental position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna spoke about his transcendental situation in his eternal abodes. He spoke about his performance of various activities. He spoke about his birth and not taking birth. Spoke about himself at the Kalarupa and also becoming afraid of personalities of this world, and spoke about performing relishable activities with his queens in the palaces of Dwaraka. So this word Paramam Sthitim Atmana indicates Lord Krishna explained about his transcendental position to Uddhava. Acharyas explained that how Lord Krishna had taken birth, how Lord Krishna performed various pastimes in Vrindavan, Madura and Dwaraka, and also in Prabhas, his disappearance pastime. Basically, it says that Lord Krishna eternally stays in Vrindavan. His Vasudev form eternally stays in Madura and Dwaraka. And being requested by Lord Brahma, the Lord of Paravyoma appeared in this material world. That time, in order to perform the service of killing all the demoniac kings, Lord Vishnu, who is the maintainer of this universe, entered into the form of Lord Krishna. So that Vishnu, having killed all the demons, now leaving Dwarakadish, the two-handed Krishna in Dwaraka itself, the Dwaraka which became Aprakata, which became invisible from the normal human beings. Only that Vishnu of this world came to Prabhas along with the Devatas who entered into Yadu assembly, Yadu family, taking them to Prabhas. And Lord Krishna, by showing this ghastly war among the Yadus within the vision of the sages and the people of this world, he sent back all the Devatas back to Swarga. Now, that Vishnu who appeared in Krishna in this material world to kill all the Asura kings will be going back to Vaikuntha. As he was going back to Vaikuntha, he will keep one material body in this material world to invite Kali to rule over this world after his disappearance. And then he said that in his invisible form Lord Krishna eternally stays in Dwaraka. And he told Uddhava that, my dear Uddhava, go yourself to Badrikashram, give them message, and come in one form to Dwaraka and reunite with me in my Aprakat Leela. And in other form, you go to Vrindavan because you prayed when you visited Vrindavan on my request in order to pacify Yashoda and Nanda and all the gopis, where you stayed there for 2 months. Hearing from all the gopis, you cherished a desire that you wanted to become a Gulmalata, by which you can take the dust of all the gopis upon your head. So, in order to fulfill that desire also, may you go to Vrindavan. So, this is what Lord Krishna spoke to Uddhava upon his request. So then Uddhava says, this is the last verse which will stop now. Saeva marardita tirtat adita tattvatma vibodha margam pranamya padau parivritya devam iha gatoham virahaturatma. So Saeva madrita pada tirtad adhita tattvatma vibodha marga pranamya padav. Having understood the transcendental knowledge about Lord Krishna himself from the Guru of the entire universe, pranamya padav, offering obeisances to his lotus feet, parivritya devam, doing parikrama around Lord Krishna, ihagato aham, I have come to Vrindavan, virahatu ratma, experiencing separation from Lord Krishna, on my way to Badrikashram, I have come to Vrindavan now. Now I am on my way to Badrikashram. So this is how Lord Krishna, not Uddhava, explained about his last and final meeting with Lord Krishna in Prabhas, before he was traveling to Badrikashram and before Lord Krishna departing from this material world. So like that, then the discussion further continues between Uddhava and Vidura. But in Prabhas, after the departure of Uddhava, after Uddhava and Maitreya Muni left from that place, then Jara shoots an arrow at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, which hits the toe of Lord Krishna. Then the Jara actually thought Krishna to be a deer. Then he came to collect the deer, but seeing it is Lord Krishna, he begged forgiveness from Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna immediately delivered Jara from this material world and sent him to Vaikuntha. And then Dwaraka, not Dwaraka, Dharuka came, Lord Krishna's personal charioteer, taking Lord Krishna's chariot. Then Lord Krishna sent his own chariot to spiritual world Vaikuntha and requested Dharuka to go to Dwaraka and inform the Dwaraka Vasis about everything that had happened in Prabhas, that all the Yadus had fought among themselves and killed each other, and also tell them that Balramji disappeared and Lord Krishna also disappeared from this world. And offering obeisance to Lord Krishna, Daruka goes to Dwaraka. And then all the devatas headed by Lord Brahma, Indra, Lord Shiva, they all come to Prabhas and they offer prayers to Lord Krishna. Accepting their prayers, as seen by the devatas, Lord Krishna in his four-handed Vishnu form ascends to Vaikuntha, leaving behind one material body in the mid of the night. In the evening, Uddhava met Lord Krishna. In the evening, the fight took place, and offering evening obile Sandhya, Lord Krishna sat there. Then Uddhava and Maitreya came. Then Jara came. Then Daruka came. Then all the devatas came. By the time it was midnight. So in the midnight, Lord Krishna departed from this world. This midnight was the Amavasya of the last month of our traditional calendar, that is Falguna. The moment Lord Krishna departed from this world, that was the last moment of the Amavasya. The next day, it was Chaitra Mas and Pratipad, the first Tithi Shukla Paksha. And that day, the Kali Yuga began. The beginning of Kali Yuga, we generally celebrate as Gudi Padwa in Maharashtra, as Ugadi in Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka, other states. So these are the set of events which are mentioned in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So I think we'll stop here. If some devotees have some queries, we'll take for a couple of minutes. And
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I have so many questions, but at least I'll ask one, two. Prabhuji, the first one is Uddhava calls Vidura as Arindam, that is subject of the enemy. But at least I have not come across anywhere that Vidura has fought with enemy or anything, because his picture is portrayed as the spokesperson or the statesman or the advisor of this thing, but he has never anywhere it is not mentioned. Second is Ashwat. We were talking about the Ashwatha tree, that is, and it is mentioned even in Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter Ardhva Mula Dashaka, and even Jnaneshwar, if you know Maharashtra's little bit,
yes.
He has taken samadhi under Ashwatha tree at Alandi. So what is so important about the Ashwatha tree? Because even Krishna sat under the Ashwatha tree when he departed from this world, and even Jnaneshwar, and even in the Bhagavad Gita, the 15th chapter starts with that Dvamula. So can you little bit throw light on Ashwatha tree, Prabhuji? That is the people tree, but why special it is mentioned only that tree? Though in even Bhagavad Gita as well as in Bhagavatam, it is mentioned as banyan tree, but it is people tree, because in Sanskrit Ashwatha tree is people tree. So what is so important about it?
So the first one is about Arindama.
Yeah.
So Vidura conquering enemies. Though Vidura did not conquer any enemies physically, but he conquered the enemies subtly. Though he is the most qualified person, he accepted and he continued to live as the son of a Shudrani, and he accepted all the insults of Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra. He continued to serve as a statesman. Even at one point of time, that Duryodhana insulted him like anything, that we discussed in the first chapter of this third canto.
Yes.
He is seeing it at the mercy of the Supreme Lord, giving up his kingly responsibilities, of course, the minister responsibilities. He traveled to all the holy places. In that way, he actually conquered his ego.
Okay.
Otherwise, for any other person would have retaliated to Duryodhana. All my entire life, I actually served your family. You people does not recognize my service. Like that, a person would have retaliated. But Vidura never retaliated like that. He has seen the hand of the Supreme Lord in the scolding of Duryodhana, and for his betterment, he moved ahead. So like that.
Prabhuji, in that it is also mentioned that he left his bow and arrow at the door and he went away. Na?
No, bow and arrow indicates his duty.
Okay.
His duty as the minister.
Okay.
The second thing is Ashwatha tree, as Lord Krishna indicates in that Vibhuti Yoga, 10th chapter. Ashwatha Sarva Rukshanam. Among all the trees, I am Ashwatha.
Yeah.
Even if you visit any of the villages, even Mumbai also, majority of the temples, they have one Ashwatha tree in their courtyard. Ashwatha tree in villages is worshipped as an anga of the Supreme Lord. Whenever they go to temple, they also worship the deities along with the worship of Ashwatha tree. So it is the Vibhuti of the Supreme Lord. It is represented by the Supreme Lord. It displays the Vibhuti of Supreme Lord. The tree of Ashwatha is very auspicious. It is also has so many medicinal properties, etc., etc. And in Sanskrit also, Ashwatha also has a meaning in relation to this material world. In 15th chapter, Lord Krishna compared the entire material world with Ashwatha tree because
That's true.
Ashwa Tishtati, that which will not stay till tomorrow, is called Ashwatha. So because of all these reasons, many things, so Ashwatha tree is mentioned in the Vedic literature many times because it is a vibhuti of the Supreme Lord in that way. So that is the reason every village in the the main temple of the village will have one of the Ashwatha trees in the courtyard, and people take care of it. They never cut the branches of the Ashwatha tree. They treat it very reverentially, since it represents Lord's vibhuti in that way.
Actually, Prabhuji, in our, I don't know, but in Konkan or in that area, they say that don't go to near Ashwatha tree in the evening because many ghosts, actually, the munjas, they stay on Ashwatha tree. That's why.
That I don't know. Generally, the Ashwatha tree is worshipped in the temples.
Yeah. And Prabhuji, next time when you start, please, Prabhuji, will you talk little bit about Uddhava? Because he was, only we know he was cousin brother of Krishna and he looked like Krishna and whatever he had done, Uddhav Gita and everything. But who was he? What was the thing? Like, we don't know much about. So next time when you start, will you little bit throw light on?
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other devotees have any query? Okay. If no one has any query, so we'll stop here. We'll take leave and we'll meet next week once again. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Mataji. Vedamata Mataji.
Yeah. Okay, Prabhuji. Yeah. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for a wonderful class.
Hari.
Thank you.
Sorry for the interruption at the beginning. Just in order to record the lecture, some problem was there because of the host.
No problem. Absolutely no problem. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की जय. So we'll meet again next week. We'll complete the 4th chapter next week. Few more verses are there.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.